Welcome back to part 4 of Black Skies Reviews mini-series for Joytoy's Fear 3 Heavy Firepower Mech. In part 4, we're going to take a look at the armor assembly for the arms. This is definitely going to be very confusing because the instructions are very poor. It's almost just like an image showing you where to put it, but not how to. So I did some research, and from my own preferences, I went ahead and put together this part 4 to show you how best to put on the armor. That's almost like a tongue twister, right? So here is actually a look at a complete arm. So I'm holding the camera here because the thing's pretty large, but it could be definitely a little bit overwhelming when you first see it. A lot of it, believe it or not, is cosmetic. So during the assembly, I'm going to go ahead and lay him down, and I'll do my best to keep him in focus because I want to show you some interesting things that I discovered, and we're going to talk about it here. Okay, starting off, you're going to need to locate the upper armor shoulder pad slash bicep piece here on the bottom. You're just going to make sure you have your emblems or your number 9, which is on the other side, on the front, and that's how you can tell which one's right and which one's left. So your overall impressions are going to be like, okay, what's going on here? What's this thing? Does this thing come apart? Why is this flopping around? I got these connector pieces. Oh my goodness. That was my pretty much first impression when I was trying to put this thing together. So for now, we're going to ignore this. We're going to focus on this piece. Now, this is the best way I found to do it. You can do it however you please. The top piece or this piece first or second, but I find it's kind of easy because once you attach this, it holds the rest onto the arm and you ain't got to worry about falling off. So when you get this in a box, this is pretty much folded like this. It's got to unfold this. And you want to pay attention to this hole here. Now this separates in 2 pieces. And the reason that being is you need to get that circle I just showed you around right here. So that piece will go slide half on this side, half on the inside. You snap it together and it'll sit on this entire piece there, this ledge, and it'll connect around that post. So that's where you want that, really want that to be at. Okay, so now as a heads up, when I first started doing the arm that's completed now is, first place, be very careful. This plastic seems brittle. It's not a heavy play plastic I could get from like Hasbro or Jazzwares or something like that. This does seem like it will break if you put too much force on it. Just a heads up. So if you think you're pulling too hard, stop. If you look right here, this comes apart, pulls apart. On the one I had, the paint was around this. I had to go in there and get that paint out. And believe it or not, I used this trusty thing I always have, and I went in there and I kind of scratched the paint out a little bit, and tweaked it until I got it to come loose. So be aware that on the gray pieces, you may have, paint binding the 2 pieces together. So normally you just want to take your time and just see how I there. Just want to and get this apart like so. Now when you do take this apart, these pieces may fall off. It's not a big deal. Just make sure you put them on the right way with this painted piece on the outside like so. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get him laid down and we'll take a look at him. Okay, hopefully this works out for the camera angle. So you want to grab your pieces, and that does fall, and sometimes it's irritating when you're trying to do something. But you want to make sure this flat piece is on the front and on the back, because when the elbow bends, you're going to want this to move. So you want to make sure that goes on like this. You have this upside down V basically. So just bear with me here because this is actually a... So you want to get this piece around that peg on the bottom section there. Like there. And then that happens, and that's irritating, but it's part of the game. So we make sure we have it on the outside, like I said. And then basically you got to try to get the other half together. Now when you put these together, one's not gonna go into the hole perfectly, and another one's not gonna do it. It's irritating, but you just have to take your time and get it to work. So what I want to do here is I've explained how this works. I may have to go off camera to do it, just because all the pieces are falling off. Best I can here. Yeah, it's very difficult through the camera. Yeah. Alright, so you know where to put it. I'm going to go ahead and just squeeze those two pieces together, and I'll be right back. Okay, the best way to do it is to stand him up, believe it or not. So you see, that's the side of his arm right there. This flap and this flap should be on the actual back of the elbow and front of the elbow, so they can move. So what I had to stand him up just to show you something here. See how that just kind of rotates. It just sits on there and it's nice and tight. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to lift up this part of the mech, which is the chest armor, and we're going to take a look at something very interesting. Now, these, like I said, instructions are poor. So in my research, you're to take this strap here, stick it through here, and then turn it and bring it down. Now, if you guys remember in part 3 of my video, I was talking about how cool this is to have weapon storage. Now, if you bring these down and you're just going to take away all that inventory, if you wanted that feature. Now, if you don't want that feature, it's not a problem. But I found a really cool fix for it. You're only going to see this on Black Guy's reviews. This is my own thing. This hasn't been done anywhere else. If you see it after this video's been posting, then it's been copied. So you may have noticed I already started here on this arm. They normally want you to bring this in and come down with it. If you grab this piece here and you pull it hard, pretty good, you can bring it over into here. And you can overlap those pieces, and that makes a super strong bond. And you're only actually losing the top piece here, but you really want your weapon sticking to the very, very top because it'll get in the way of the armor. But you're not really losing because you have 3 sections here so far as we go through our review. So basically, what we're going to do here is put the camera down. I'm going to show you how I am going to attach that shoulder piece. Okay, so first off, we're going to take a look at, we're going to make sure we have this piece. Don't worry about all this other stuff, it's just for show. That all falls into place. So you want to have this sitting like this at an angle, but your goal is to make sure this isn't twisted. You may have to keep this one out of the way. This can get a little challenging to get it through there because it is quite thick, which is a good thing because it keeps it. That's really the only thing that's holding that shoulder pad on is this Velcro strap. And again, I may have to do this off camera because it is difficult to do while you have a camera. Oh, maybe I got it. So there's that piece. It's through at least, right? So you want to get this pretty well centered. Give it a good nice little pull. Now you see, you want to pull on this, you want to get that over into like this little crevice that each one of those are going to overlap each other. Pull on it, make sure it's seated, and then it'll Velcro to each other because it fits. And then that's what that would look like. Now I'm going to stand him up and I'll show you. Okay, so here is the final piece assembly. Now you can see how these things, they do move. They're very finicky. One of the things holding that on is this connection piece to this, and then that strap pull there with the Velcro. So you want to make sure you rub your finger across it. Now, this is, I don't know if this is the right way or not. The instructions are poor. I showed you the instructions in a different part of the mini-series, and like I said, my research said that, you pull them, you twist them and go down. It just seems like a waste. It also, believe it or not, gives you some more stability whenever you put down the chest pad. You can feel it, touch it, and it gives a nice feel. My legs are falling. It's getting top heavy because there's nothing on the bottom. Just remember, these pieces are articulated. Just make sure they're closed. Just butt up against there and you're good to go. And then you have some places to hide some of your weapons if you want that feature. Now if you don't want that feature, don't waste your time. Just stick it through the hole and strap it where you see fit. But this is my way of doing it to get the maximum play out of your mech. Okay, for the lower half of the arm, you're going to want to locate two pieces. You're going to want to find this piece and this piece. Now, you see how this is kind of shaped where it goes up and around, goes down and down, it comes out, and this one kind of goes out. This is the rear. You want this open section in the front so you have the place for your articulation to bend. Now, one of the things we're going to do here is, again, it could be a visual nightmare. You see all these straps, you're thinking, oh my god, what am I going to do, right? So we want to make sure we keep all of our straps down out of the way. We can put them however you want it to look cosmetically, but right now they don't matter. So prep this piece. You want to just give it a little bit, it comes apart, give it a little bit of space. It doesn't take much just to get it over the arm. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take him, bring him over. Best thing to do is just go ahead and remove his hand, like so. Get it out of the way. Okay, we have him back on the operating table. Here's your piece, like this. You're gonna have this hole on the top, and basically because you have it pulled apart a little bit, allows you to slip it over, and then you can squeeze it back together. You can pull in some of the ties and make it a little stronger, and then adjust it however you see fit here in a second. So next thing here is, you see here is the bottom, so you need this piece. See these little grooves right here, this one here, one here. There are little slots right here and right here. You're going to want to slide those in to these slots right here. See how they fit right in there? And basically you want to have this silver on the sides. So you want to have this notch piece, this piece here on the top. You just want to go ahead, get it, hold on to your forearm piece till you get it in there. See how far it goes. So it can be a little tricky to know how far it's up in there versus not. I don't think I'm centered right, so we're going to try this again. I don't think my pieces are together. There we go. That's what some of these ties may come into play for. Help hold that together. So get your piece, find your slots, and then that's it right there. I believe so. Maybe not. It did fall down some. One thing you gotta watch out for. These can get in the way and think you're in position, you're not. So you really gotta go up some on this. Not see that again. So this is how finicky it could be when you're trying to get this thing together. Keep your flaps up. Okay, may have to go off camera to get this thing to connect back together because it's hard to see. And I'll be right back. Okay, there it is. It's all the way through. You may have to tighten up on some of your little connector pieces here to pull it tight to keep that together. The tolerances are different from each piece to piece, so it's going to be a little different. Then all you need to do is get your hand and peg it back in. It sits up in there. Let's see if I can get that to go in without just taking everything back off again. Yeah, there you go. So there's a hand, you can see that the articulation isn't even hindered at all. I mean, a little bit on the back, but you can bend it pretty far front, up and down, side to side. Pretty cool. Okay, let's see if we can even stand up a little bit here. See what we can take a look at. And then we can see how well it looks. So here's the upper part of the mech, his shoulders. You can see how well that sits. And now this is those flaps I told you to launch. And then you have the open section here that you can see the articulated ratcheted joint right there. And there's the hand. So that's the entire arm assembly. It can be a little finicky. It was actually more intimidating than it was once I knew what I was doing to the poor instructions. I mean, if you just look at these, it's like, it just basically shows you the back of the neck, and I think the book's backwards. Soft goods. It's the front, just showing you where stuff goes and the name of it. Really know how to. Well, there are very small pieces here. I can't even make out what's going on there. They made an effort, but this isn't it. That's pretty much it. And then you pretty much get where to stick in. But it's very poor. Hopefully, guys, this video will help you guys put your mech together better than trying to put together with this poor instructions. These little tabs here, that's leftover material. I wouldn't cut them because you're going to devalue your mech if you ever wanted this to sell it or you're just tired of having it, whatever. Well, you can always just tuck them away under like these little bars here. Just retuck them. But, you can clean them up after you're done assembling. It's like a touch-up type thing. So, it's up to you. Of course, you're free. See how you can just tuck them right there. Just tuck this one under. Sorry, it was my camera trying to hold this thing. It just popped out, but you get the idea. So yeah, very cool. So here's some images of what it looks like complete without being, cleaned up with the straps. So this centerpiece here, that's my kind of thing that I'm doing myself and I'm sharing with you. It may become an issue here as we put on more of the soft goods. I'm not sure. They might want you to Velcro, but we'll see what we can do about workaround. If you guys are going to go down the road that I'm doing with the extra place to put your weapons, like your swords or your guns, that you can get to fit in there. But I think it's a great idea, and if you guys think it's a great idea, let me know down in the comments, or if it's not a great idea. Just remember, for example, your 9s and your symbols on the front. Well, hope you guys enjoyed part 4. This is the assembly process for the arms. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up for me. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment down below, and we'll see you in part 5.